Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at what Platinum Dragonlord's secret plan might be, and why he's expanding his power and influence over an entire continent. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's take a look at the topic at hand. Platinum is not only likely the most powerful among the remaining dragons, but he is also responsible for the existence of a state on a part of the known world map that wouldn't exist otherwise. The Arland Council State, ruled by Platinum and advised by other dragons, teaches the inhabitants of the New World, among other things of course, wild magic, the original magic of the New World. And we are not sure about the extent of Platinum's involvement in his own state, and whether or not the other dragons bear the main burden of governments or not. However, the fact that we haven't seen Platinum working in the Arland Council State, but we have seen him twice in the same room, suggests that he stays there a lot and may not be directly involved in the day-to-day affairs of the government. And considering Platinum is also associated with other states and projects, it's possible that he delegates the governments of Arland to a monarchy, a Republican Senate, or something in between, and is just occasionally checking in to ensure that everything is working the way he intends to. And being under the protection of multiple dragons makes the land virtually invulnerable and very safe from any outside threat. Because while Brightness Dragonlord has not shown himself in the Dragon Kingdom, where his great-granddaughter desperately fights for survival, which has led to the invasion of the Beastman nation in the first place, by the way, any nation daring to attack Arland would likely face a visit from one of the dragons, and these Dragonlords are very powerful, perhaps even stronger than some of the Pleiades battlemates of Ainz ooal, and this would allow them to dissuade any potential aggressors from trying so much as to set a single foot on this very land, and then perhaps burn down any aggressor that doesn't heed the warning. And perhaps Arland could also have been an independent state 200 years ago that, in exchange for protection from any further incursion of evil beasts or the evil gods that devastated so many other nations 200 years ago, would allow Platinum to gain certain influence and certain powers within their own state, allowing the dragons to influence basically the magic system, the magic education in their favor, and thus enabling the teaching of the original magic of the New World, the wild magic. Now the question then is, if Platinum's influence is strongest in the eastern part of the continent, and if the Arland Council State is located at the very edge of the western world, where nations and inhabitants are noticeably weaker, what has Platinum done in other places, and why? Unfortunately, we don't have any precise information on this matter. However, if a state like Arland exists among roughly 10 other states, or depending on the timeline of Ainz ooal's conquest, it could very well be that in the east, where his influence is strongest, that perhaps every fifth or even every third state or city or settlement in this area has connections to Platinum or is under his protection. This might also explain why even Corpus of the Abyss, despite their contempt for their new lord, ooal los Malvar, are somewhat okay with him. Well, the term okay is actually used loosely here. They still despise him, but they see some utility in his presence, primarily because he is a powerful dragon, and therefore the connection to ooal could dissuade and deter Platinum, preventing interventions from him within the Corpus of the Abyss's day-to-day affairs. And again, This is very necessary because it is an organization that ultimately seeks to destroy all life by researching and amassing magical power. And so, eventually, they would have brought upon themselves the wrath of Platinum, if they were discovered by, for example, him, and not ooal. So in other words, Platinum has seemingly done his best to change the world after the 8 Great Kings brought the dragons to the brink of extinction and somewhat uniting it. He did this to preserve his own ancestral magic and potentially launch a sort of global anti-player alliance in the future. So just like ooal trained himself to become strong enough to defeat players, Platinum has forged countless alliances and fashioned entire states to his liking in order to preserve his magic, so that wild magic will not be completely destroyed and replaced by tier magic. And for those states or cities allied with Platinum, this is of course an enormous advantage, to be under the protection of the most powerful being in the New World, and as mentioned, the central part of the continent where mighty nations fight for dominance is even more dangerous than the western part of the continent, where humans already struggle to survive. However, we also know that while Platinum sees himself as the protector of the New World, defending it against the malevolent and corrupting influence of players and Yggdrasil, he appears to have far fewer scruples than one might think. He has considered, among other things, the idea of killing Ainz, someone Platinum pretends to regard as his loyal friend and companion, which the other way around is actually true, to give his armor to someone more skilled than Ainz, who takes his job more serious and is considerably more devoted to the cause of good than he is. For example, someone with the personality of Climb, who dedicates himself to the good with heart and soul, training tirelessly day after day, but one who's also far more powerful, or has at the very least far more potential than him. And we also know that Draudilon Auriculus, the great-granddaughter of Brightness Dragonlord, can use wild magic. However, her dragon blood is diluted, making it challenging for her to harness the immense magic of the dragons, and to perform a devastating spell that could have been casted by Brightness Dragonlord without any sacrifice. Draudilon would need 1,000,000 souls. Now let's think a bit further. Draudilon's magic is diluted, and to use the ability of her ancestors, she now needs 1,000,000 souls. The original magic of the dragons, wild magic, has also been diluted as well, due to the appearance of players and their own magic system. However, Platinum could potentially unleash the full magical potential dormant within his very own dragon blood, similar to Draudilon Auriculus, if there are enough human sacrifices, or more accurately, enough souls available for him to fuel his magic. So it could be that Platinum's plan is not so much to combat these players when they come into the New World, but rather to break the spell that brings players, items, and NPCs to it. Therefore he might want to send Ainz back to his old world, rather than fight against him and his entire tomb. And that would indeed be an extremely exciting finale for Overlord. But that's just my theory on what Platinum actually intends with the state he's building everywhere in the East. Basically, just as he would sacrifice Ainz to better combat players by handing someone stronger his very own armor, he might be willing to sacrifice billions of living beings to finally banish the players from his own world. And with that said, now it's your turn. Do you find this theory plausible? Do you have your own opinions? Then let me know them down in the comment section. And while you type, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, ASK, Bad Guy Yi, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Phil Rachivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Mervek, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Caracos P, Shagox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenukai, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.